ladies and gentlemen. It gives my great pleasure to be present before you to deliver these remarks at the opening of the International Conference on Bankruptcy and Business Reorganization Management during the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, this is done via video conference. On behalf of the host, may I first welcome the delegates from ASEAN member countries, namely Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam. And also, I would like to also welcome Japan and the Republic of Korea for attending this event. My thanks also go to the World Bank and the International Association of the Insolvency Regulators, or the IAIR, and also the Law School of Renmin, University of China, who gave the participation through this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, during the economic crisis of the COVID-19, we have seen that the COVID-19 really affect our lives. It does not only affect the casualties among people, but we can see that the economies of all the countries affected by the COVID-19 has received the downturn tremendously. During this time, we also witnessed the rising cases in bankruptcy and reorganization. Of course, this is because the inability to pay off all the debtors that we are now seeing. The COVID-19 actually stopped the activities of human beings, including the transportation, the communications, and also other business activities. Lockdowns in various countries really stopped the growth of the GDP. And in effect, we see the downturn and the decline of the GDP growth in every country in the world. We also see the court hearing in various jurisdictions went to a stop. Many cases were postponed. And we also see that the administration of bankruptcy and reorganization has come to some difficulties because normal auctioning cannot be done in a normal way. Ladies and gentlemen, during the economic crisis in 1997, many countries in Asia has witnessed that we have to do a lot of things during that process. And eventually, it came out that a few years after, we can come back to stand as we could. The problem nowadays is totally different. The COVID-19 really create the systemic bankruptcy over the world. And in that case, I might actually admit that it is very difficult indeed because there'll be no one coming to help. We need to help ourselves. And through that, what I understand is that the normal laws, regulations that we now have in our jurisdiction may not efficiently cope with the systemic situation. And in this regard, we have to do a lot of things in order to cope with the system and maybe make sure that economy can be sustained for some certain period of time before the COVID-19 could be resolved. During these years, we have witnessed the changes in the laws in various jurisdictions regarding the bankruptcy. And I can only give you some examples. One is that we see that one example would be like the extension of the time limitation that is made in order to ensure that the conciliation and mediation between the parties can be done without the rush time to file the case with the court. Secondly, we also see that in some jurisdiction there is the abolition of the criminalization for trading while insolvent. I understand that many countries see that a lot of people could not pay the debts and forcing them to stop trading at some point might be too harsh for the debtors. We also see that in some jurisdictions, they are lifting up the threshold to file for bankruptcy. For example, like lifting up the debt requirements. And this is, we can see that it is the way to prolong and perhaps stop the effect of that inability to pay and make sure that we may have some time to buy for the system to come back. Ladies and gentlemen, Thailand is no exception. We have proposed the law, or in the correct words, an amendment to the bankruptcy law. We are now proposing that the law regarding the SME's reorganization should be changed. One significant aspect of changing the law is to make it much easier and make sure that the court will have more discretion in dealing with that matter, including we have to do away with the prerequisite that may be obstacle to the filings. We also see that the legal execution department is now undergoing the e-auctioning for bankruptcy cases. My understanding that it will come very soon. I understand that this venue, this event, would be a very good venue that people in ASEAN member countries, including Korea and Japan, would be sharing your view regarding the way to deal with the matters during economic crisis of the COVID-19. I hope that the consultation among yourself would give us some new idea, and perhaps that would become our way to solve the problem as well. So in this regard, I wish you to have the successful event, and may I take this opportunity to declare this meeting open. Thank you.